Hey, hey guys. I mean, guys, whoever would end up watching this when they would, which currently is zero, um, but hence it staying, they might watch it later. Anyway, that's the Twitch caveat. Actually, now it's the YouTube caveat, or at least at this time it was. I'm saying now it's the YouTube caveat makes it sound like there's going to be a lot of YouTube streaming, and I don't know. Mm, trying to organize something on the desk here. Okay. Yeah, I think the last stream was fairly glum, and even though I think like I laid everything out fairly well, and I think I've hit on a lot of big issues that are really powerful. I think this culture is just a tide that sweeps almost literally almost everybody right into the basically right into the turmoil. Um, and I'm shocked that people could get out of it. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just my experience and maybe it's also my um, generation, and perhaps things are different in different phases of the plan. Phases of the plan as in, what we're all going through, but the the description I had, I think, was valid, and I think it is a valid concern. Well, it's a huge concern. It's a gigantic concern. It's a horrific reality, actually. But still, I mean, I hope that a lot of people do get out of it. And I mean, I feel filled with grief at how many people are just kind of used and destroyed before they even get a fucking chance to be a person. And then there are all these people on the sidelines who are just cheering it on because they've been told that that's a good thing to do as well. And as I was talking about with the Matrix, like they will turn into agents. They will fight you tooth and nail. I emotionally, I mean, really, but like they'll fight you tooth and nail to sort of preserve that kind of insane status quo. Actually, like a just insane status quo, but and horrible status quo. Like everyone just gets destroyed, and the guys included, but the girls worse. And unfortunately, I think the girls more enthusiastically, and there's a bizarre thing there where it's just like about as much suffering for everybody as possible because the guys are unenthusiastically destroying the girls and the girls are like very enthusiastically being destroyed, but I don't mean enthusiastically in a way where I think they're actually like enjoying it. I think they go into it with like a real sense of gusto, and just as they've been told to do, and it's very sad. And the thing is, like, I don't know. Again, I don't know like what uh, each generation would have going on, and like I don't know what the people who are like 20 somethings today do as opposed to the people who are 20 somethings of yesteryear. But it doesn't look good. You know what? Actually, it might look okay. I don't know. Like from the externals, it does not look good, but it seems if I were to hazard a guess, I think people are more isolated just in general now, and so it might seem like everyone's kind of being destroyed, and I think a lot of people are, but or I don't want to say destroyed because that gives you the sense that you can't come back from it. And please, you can come back from it at any time. Just start being an honest person first of all, but that's like the biggest thing actually. If you could do that, that you're kinda that's pretty good. Being an honest person, period, bolded period there, noble period. But, oh, hold on, I'll be right back. I had a couple of good synchronicities tonight before we go on. First, a girl basically at the end of the shift, they say, "Okay, we owe you this money, or you owe us that money." Blah blah blah. And so, in any case, the like they keep a tally of like where the money, which way it's going. So th- it was just $9, and I reached into my pocket because I was like, oh, my wallet's in my car, and I was like, "Ah." So I reached into my right pocket. This is like a fucking movie, but this actually happened, and the girl didn't seem like this was an I haven't this is a different person anyway, but the girl didn't seem like very particularly like amazed by it, but I was amazed. Uh, I reached into my right pocket and I'll pull it out. What it was? I found a 20. Or this is the 20. I reached into my right pocket and I found 20. I was like, oh, and I was like, wait a second. I thought I had something else. I thought I had like something more like $9. And I reached into my left pocket and I pulled out a wad of bills, a thin sheaf of bills, and I think it had a five on the outside, and I was like, "Oof!" Either a five or a one, I guess. I was like, "Ooh, this is going well." And I looked, and I was counting it with just trepidation. The bills were kind of sticking together. Like seriously, I was standing there doing this, and it looked. I think it might have looked like two at the beginning, or it might have looked like three. But I was like, "I please let there be another one." And there I had literally exactly $9 in the other. And by the way, also the 9 and the 20, then that the 20 is the 1 plus the 1, so it's kind of like 9. That's I think Matt McKinley, not because that's a thing to laugh about, but I think Matt McKinley might get a kick out of that fucking synchronicity or that like symbolism. Because it wasn't like I planned out what money to put in my pockets. I was actually pretty diligently putting it in my wallet throughout the day, but there you go. Like the money that I would handle, that sounds so fucking dirty. The money that I would get, well, that sounds strange. Whatever. Anyway, so I had that, and then I went to on the way back from work tomorrow. Well, now today's my day off, so or one of my days off. So I went and I was like, well, whatever. I'm driving past a liquor store. It's almost closed, but I'll go in. And I was just kind of looking, and I was kind of sort of feeling like, as I often do, actually, I was just kind of feeling like, what's the right thing to get? And I go and I grab this. All right. And the thing is, I had taken in specifically I kid you fucking not about this. I had taken in specifically $2 or not $2, but two bills from the car. Like I had pulled them out from like under the wallet or just, I think they were together as well, which is very interesting. Or you know what? I think they were like somewhere in the dashboard or something. And I pulled two bills and I looked and it was like 25. And I was like, all right, 25, like that'll be as much as I spent here. And usually I spend a decent amount less if I'm going to like I buy like one fucking 12 pack of whatever Sam Adams October Fest, whatever. And so but I grabbed this thing and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm thinking like, there's no way this is fun. I don't think the price was like maybe it was nowhere at all, or it didn't seem obvious. So it was like, oh, this is probably like 17, $18 or something. And I bring it up. What does she say? 24.99. I literally had a 5 and a 20 that I had taken out from the car. 24.99. I got one fucking penny back. You want to see that penny? You want to fucking see that penny? This is that penny. This is my fucking life. This is my I mean, like I have all this sadness and like all this like, like all this stuff. But like you get to the point where you are having these insane synchronicities that it's like a fucking magic show. Um I wanted to do something a little more positive because I think I described a sort of depressing as cultural setting, actually, a very depressing cultural setting that has been made like this. Don't I would hope nobody would feel bad about their own involvement in well, to whatever. I hope nobody would feel like they had sort of like done this like that they weren't sort of led in this direction themselves, like just like all the guys who are living at home with their parents and like total fucking failures. I hope the girls don't like feel particularly badly that like they've been they've probably allowed themselves to be used and just like fucking treated like fucking dirt by not the good guys who are fucking probably emotionally crippled at home with their parents, but they actually give a shit. And that might be why, like, on some level, they just can't fucking bring themselves to interact with this world. But and they've also been fucking like put down and destroyed, or put down for many years for how they look. Usually, if it's a white guy, it's like you're bad, you're a dominator. Anything you ever do, it was just given to you. And but if you don't do well, then you're a fucking pussy because you didn't do well and everything was given to you and you didn't do well. You're the worst. It's like, so are you mad at me because I might have been successful, or are you mad at me because I'm not? And then but as Alan Watts said, he's like, it's tragic if like something is happening to millions of people, or at least probably tens or hundreds of thousands in that case, like Synthetic Man, etc. DBDR, although he kind of broke free, but I'm not saying I wouldn't say he lives a super moral life, but he is kind of like a hero for the crowd of people who are still living at home with their parents or whatever. But in any case, um, it's very oh yeah, Alan Watts said it's tragic when something happens to like essentially so many people, and yet they feel like like sort of they would individually feel like it was their fault, like they're some kind of fucking failure, they're some kind of particular loser. It's like, well, first of all, and I'm saying this now, but I don't imagine that, I think he might agree with at least some of it. First of all, the system is the system that's given to you. Yes, you could make your own small business. Sure, you could be an entrepreneur and you could do these things. And I'm not saying that you can't. You probably could. But well, hey, if you did these things, you would have the government telling you that you need to pay them all this money, and you would be going with all these different guidelines, and you would also be probably like interacting, at least much of the public would have certain cultural standards, and so essentially it probably would be unlikely that unless you really fucking rock the boat in a way where you like woke people up, it'd probably be unlikely that you do incredibly well without capitulating to the system a huge fucking amount. So so in any case, though, for anyone to think they're a fucking special failure at all, it's like, wait a second. First of all, this system is a system that's been given to us. Like it's as if there's a fucking chessboard that's already been drawn out for us, and we go on the squares that are there. Um, I'm saying this now, but it's like somebody already set up a fucking playground and we're playing on that playground, but they set it up. They made the slides. They figured out what was going to be where. This is maybe a bizarre. They set up a jungle gym, an adult jungle gym. All right, and at an adult DZ Discovery. So, okay, I'm. All right. Well, let's back slowly away from this this set of connotations. Okay. Essentially, it's like somebody, let's go back to the chessboard. It's like they put the places there. No, I think it's more than a chessboard. Essentially, like they set up an obstacle course. And you're going through this obstacle course and you're like, "Oh man, I'm a failure. Oh no, I fell down this." And then, "Oh no, like and it's like, "Wait a sec, I can't climb off that wall." But it's like, "Wait a second. Somebody else set up this obstacle course. Like, why are you calling yourself a failure if this course is set up in such an incredibly rigid and specific way that like you may not have done well with it?" It's like, ask yourself, how honest and how good are you before you start to evaluate how well you're doing. And then if you're relatively honest or good, then you might ask yourself, well, what about my emotional trauma beyond before all the other stuff? Like, what about the trauma that I've carried from a lot of what's happened? Um, and how much of that is sort of a Robin Williams Goodwill Hunting style, it's not your fault, where it's like, essentially you can let go. And I would suggest it. I'd say look into the presence process for a really good foundation, but the Sedona method is really great. All sorts of stuff. You can let go. And that's another thing they'll tell you you can't do. They'll say, no, you got to take these pills. They won't be telling you about like releasing on your emotions. They won't be telling you about like letting go of trauma and how you actually could let go of trauma, and then you can walk around feeling like, on some level, feeling like you're like a kid again. Like you can actually feel that way, and it's like, wow, I haven't felt this way in a long time. Um, without the use of fucking prescription drugs from evil pharmaceutical companies. But hold on. But then it's like, but at the same time, like to whatever extent you have had trouble, you might ask yourself, nevertheless, like how much emotional trauma have I had? And even if I were like releasing and stuff, might it still like seem like a challenge, even if I felt like I was equipped to deal with it or I knew what to do anyway? Like, might it still feel like sort of an incredible challenge to like let go of some of this trauma? And then, and I have a lot of trauma, but I think a lot of people have a lot of trauma. Like I've described how women like they just have they probably have so much trauma. I'm surprised they can even fucking stand up, you know, like, and I don't mean that as a fucking physical like joke. It's not a fucking joke. I'm surprised that they can fucking walk. Um, with all the trauma they must be carrying around from like the stuff that they are led into and told like this is normal and this is the way to go and this is what to do, and if he asks you to do this you say yes, and you know if you don't have sex on the second date then you know he's going to find someone else, and all this like horrific shit, not to mention you know just everything, like they have incredible trauma I would imagine, and so I feel you know, I feel deeply for them, and part of why I might come off sounding in a way that many people might refer to as like misogynistic, just for my sense of like how fucking superficial people are, and they just use buzzwords. But you know, it's like, oh, you hate women because you don't think they should be sleeping around. It's like, no, I love women, and so I am just fucking crushed that they would like treat themselves like that. I'm also crushed that like the people that I might be able to like or you know the one person ultimately that I might be able to have a like I don't know, some kind of lifelong relation. You know, oh man, that's scary. It's essentially like the person that I could be with. It's like, unfortunately, I think it's going to be someone who's like been through all that shit, and so it's going to be like it's going to be sad, but it's also going to be, you know, it's gonna. It's like, oh, this is where you sound real chauvinistic. It's gonna be fucking bad for me too, because it's like, oh, great, like this is someone who like you know they've just been fucking used by like all these fucking guys, and like it basically if I looked into their past I'd see a bunch of fucking smiling glinting sharp teeth, you know, and it's like, oh great, like they're fucking sneering at me through the fucking windshield of the past as they fucking go as I speed past them on the highway of fucking self discovery, and they're just fucking. I fucked your wife 20 years ago. Yeah, I did too. 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 You know, like was I meant that to be eight. Like is eight eight or whatever? Would eight be a reasonable number? Like, imagine like all those fucking voices saying like, "I fucked your wife like 20 years ago. I fucked her 12 years ago." It's like that's disgusting and that's horrific. And I guess you women could probably maybe I don't know how they would feel about. It. I truly don't. You know, despite me acknowledging the conditioning, like I'm not quite sure how they'd feel about it in their heart of hearts. But you know, I think they might feel similarly repulsed by their husband. It's like, "I fucked your husband 11 years ago. I fucked him 5 years ago. I fucked him last year." It's like, "Oh my god, like, what a horrific like, how fucking brutalized we have all been by all of each other following along with the programming." And, oh man, was this gonna be the positive stream? Well, it is the positive stream because I think the last one it was very much like kind of related to what I was going through personally, and so I'd like it to remain sort of more of a conceptual thing because I think it really is, and I think it's also resonant with what a lot of people have gone through. But at the same time, it's like I think it also might be like associated with like, oh, but you were just talking about one person. It's like, no, I was talking about my whole life and about everybody. That's whom I was talking about. And by the way, I mentioned like three or four different people at least, but um, I think Anyway, uh, well, at least two, I think. Whatever. Anyway, it's really sad. It's very aggravating, and it's so disheartening. Oh man, just fucking thinking more synonyms. It's a very tragic situation for us all. Like it really is. And so, but you go back and you ask yourself, like, well, how much trauma do I have? Well, just by being a guy living through all this, like, that's a lot of fucking trauma. Like seeing that all happen and having it happen to you, and more than likely having been like cheated on by like a girlfriend or something. That might be projection, but I think probably more than like I don't know. I think women are very programmed these days to be like always looking out for the next person, and not even that it's never good enough. It's just sort of an antsiness of like never settling down. It's like, oh no, too long, and oh next, no, and there's somebody else, no, somebody. It's like this antsiness and this, and I don't know. The guys are probably horrible too, and maybe people are leaving people for good reasons, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. I think a lot of guys have gone through the trauma of what the women are going through. Mainly, I think the main fucking villain here is like the disgusting, like shitty guys who are just going around like just using women like crazy. And then there are like the guys scattered on the edges who may have been like have had some like horrible fucking relationships, or like one or whatever, and then there are all the guys who have had like no fucking relationships, and it's like they never even like it's over. It never even began, right? DVDR or whatever. They no, it never like it really never began. Like they never had anything like that. And you look at like a famous YouTuber like Synthetic Man. He's got to have like hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's fucking famous. Like he really like he could have Synthetic Man could have a smoking hot girlfriend who is just incredibly awesome, and like she actually has pretty good morals tomorrow. I guarantee it. Synthetic Man could I mean, I don't know how easy it would necessarily be to find somebody, but like I think there are people out there. Like he could be married next year easily. I think. Basically, if I had his leverage, I'd be able to put it. It's synth. You just gotta fucking realize. You just gotta fucking realize that you are the fucking man, and that like seriously, like you are the fucking man. Like you have to realize that. Um, Or I mean, if it fucks with your process, then maybe you wouldn't want to think about it like that. But in any case, it's like if even Synthetic Man like is sitting there being like, yeah, like you guys don't know how fucking hard it is. Like you think it's just so easy. You think it's like I'm in this fucking situation for a reason. Like there's shit that that I'm dealing with or whatever. It's like okay, like so even a fucking celebrity like him, like I think back in the day, like in the 60s, 70s, he'd be like, yeah, I've only had like 8 girlfriends. It's like, but and then the 90s and whatever. But nowadays, it's like just like nothing. So the emotional trauma from that, just emotional trauma all over the place. And then you ask yourself, what's going on with like my actual circumstances in terms of, let's just say, economical circumstances. What's going on with my money situation? Like, and wait a second, why is it so hard to find a job that has any good pay at all? And then wait a second, why why like like, seriously, it's not like and then all basically, this is the primary system that has been set up for you, or this is you pick your field because you're a fucking slave, and you like, truly, you are a slave because they take the fruit of your labor. I don't say that to be edgy or offensive. You are a slave, an actual slave, Neo. Neo, you are a slave, Neo. Morpheus said that to fucking Neo, and, last I checked, Keanu was kinda white, right? Like, so I basically, like, I think I don't know. In any case, like, Keanu, like, he called Neo a slave, right? He called fucking Neo a slave, and you are a slave. Whoever's watching this, you're a slave, to whatever extent that you interact with the like, having a job, and, like, making money and stuff, and then they steal your money from your paycheck, and they call it taxation, and then they steal your money at the end of the year in Rhode Island if you don't buy medical insurance, $700 of it, and then unless you like get out of it in some way or another. I found out that I was on Medicare or whatever from like another thing, so I was like, oh great, I don't have to fucking pay that this year. But hopefully next, I don't know about next year. and they fucking steal your money every time you fucking buy something, and they steal your money all the time. Like, you are a fucking slave. You pick your field and you work that field like the slave that you fucking are, for them. And then you turn around and you're like, yeah, but like I didn't do very well in the slave system. It's like, it's a fucking slave colony, dude. You didn't do well in the fucking colony set up for you with fucking and huge corporations where it's like, oh, there's a Walmart in like every fucking 15 square miles. It's and somehow there are these stores, and then it's like, yeah, but I can make my own business. It's like, yeah, did I talk about capitulating and how much you'd be doing just by interacting with the system, even entrepreneurially? Yeah, I think I talked about that earlier, but hold on. But yeah, even if you do that, you are still they're taking your money directly from you. Actually, it's probably horrific. Like, how much money they take and how hard they also probably make it for you. They already make just anybody do like their fucking book report at the end of the year. They're like, "Oh, you've got to tell us how much you owe in taxes." It's like, "Fuck you. You've been taking my taxes all fucking year. How about you fucking tell me if you did it right?" I mean, oh my God, how about you tell me if you stole my money, right, you motherfuckers, right? Like, and this is what you grow up in, and then it's like, oh, Matt, you're a fucking loser. It's like, fuck you, I'm a loser. I'm a fucking winner, dude. I I may not be a winner in terms of like any fucking nice things that have happened for or many nice things that have happened for me in like fucking years, but I am a winner in terms of having survived and having somewhat fucking thrived after having a lot of horrible things happen, and normal and abnormal. And yeah, I'm a fucking winner, dude. Fuck you, I'm a loser. Fuck you. Like, no, yeah, I may not have a lot of money or something. Well, you know what? Like, camel through the eye of the needle, motherfucker, right? But that's my response to that. Well, my other response to that is, yeah, and I feel deep fucking pain that um that like any kind of relationship or something is just like, it's just like, yeah, Matt, like you could fucking do it, but you might have to make a fucking titanic effort to like, get work this system well enough that you can remain an honest and good person while also making enough money to support a woman, as would be a reasonable thing to do in a situation where she was then taking care of a child. It's like, that's a huge fucking like, God, in this fucking slave colony, that's a huge that and for me, especially with the setbacks I've had, it's like, oh my God, it's like, yeah, so, oh wow, like, but I say it with deep sadness because it's like I really would like that, and then it seems like, I don't know. Oh boy, I don't want to start doing the last video again, but yeah, I mean, I think RPG Life. I mean, this is it for me though. Like, it just, oh yeah, man, this Mimi thing. No, yeah, Mimi or whatever. I mean, look at this man. I just every day you just fucking you do those practices, and here's the thing, like, everything could fucking fall apart for you. Everything at all times could fall apart for you, and every single person around you could treat you as unfairly and horribly as possible, and they could just try to drag you down emotionally, and they could fucking literally spit on you, but more emotionally spit on you. And every person in your life could be bad, and the government could be taking more and more money from you, and you might even literally you could even literally be sent to prison, and it doesn't matter because none of that fucking matters, because the only thing that matters is that you're doing good, like that you're doing good, like that you are being honest and good, and then also that you're after that, or whatever, that you're feeling okay, and you can feel okay anytime. All right, those are the two things that matter: that you're doing good, that you're being honest and good, and that you feel okay, and you can feel okay anytime. That's it. Okay.